Hello, Tasha.
Hello.
So, how was your week this week?
It was a long week.
Was it?
It was an actual 5-day work week.
Oh, so it wasn't long. It was just normal long.
No, it was long. Next
No.
week I have a 4-day work week, sort of. Well, it's kind
Three?
of 5, but yeah. Next Friday is staff development.
That sounds like fun.
No kids, just meetings all day.
It sounds like fun.
It's kind of fun, staff development days. I am actually looking forward to one particular meeting because we're getting trained by this one lady from our region, an excellent trainer.
Okay. Does she bring booze or something?
No,
Oh, I feel like that's the
her
only thing that would
training,
make those bearable.
no, her trainings are just very relevant to English teachers specifically and to our kids.
Oh, I see. It's like your
Practical. Like,
silly English club.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be from 8 to 12 on Friday.
Well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. How was your week?
My week has been a bit of a roller coaster,
Oh,
I would say.
how so?
I've just been sleeping like at night some lately, and which means I have to wake up and then work during the middle of the day, which is something I'm not accustomed to. But
Yeah.
yesterday I was at work, or I was working, and I was down near downtown, near the fair, and I head down this one street, and I'm driving for a little while, and it's a one way, and I'm going the correct direction. And as
Okay.
I'm pulling up to a red light, I see someone turn and start coming down the street toward me. And I was like, "Oh, this is going to be interesting." So they moved over into the far lane, and I was like, "All right, well, they at least understand that, you know, I'm going this direction, and they have to go into a different lane." So
Mm-hmm.
I start watching them in my rearview mirror. They go for quite a while, and then suddenly they're driving straight toward a police officer. The
Oh,
cop just lights them up immediately. I was like, yeah, that's what happens. Oh man,
what a dodo.
yeah. But I also, I got stuff taken care of because I was able to go to the dealership during the middle of the day. So I was able to take care of getting my license plates put on, getting my oil changed, and I had a nail removed from one of my tires.
Oh, well, why'd you hammer a nail in there?
I just wanted to see what would happen. Turns out not a lot. I'm actually kind of hungry right now.
Stop it. Every time you say that, I get hungry. You
Okay,
fat.
then I'm not hungry right now.
It's too late. I'm literally starving.
I got home because I did go to work tonight also. As soon as I got home, I was like, damn it, why am I so hungry? But then I just, laid down anyway. Took a nap before this.
Yeah. Oh man, today's a Cub Scout thing. There's like a 100th anniversary of something rather for Cub Scouts, and so a whole bunch of Cub Scout packs are gathering and
Are you going to be there?
mm-hmm. I actually got to get up like 30 minutes after we get off.
So you're just going to stay up.
Nope, I'm gonna go to sleep for like 30 minutes.
It's not going to work.
I should stay up. Will I? No.
Well, I'm going to go
No.
back to sleep after this, and then I'm going to A friend of mine is hosting a little, like, Halloween thing.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's not like a Halloween party or anything, but it's like a paint your own pumpkin type thing and blah, blah, blah.
It's
You know.
cute.
Yeah. You know what I can't stand? And if you're this person or one of our listeners is this person and you do this, just know that I hate you to my core. I don't understand the person that will text you, and then when you text them back immediately, they don't follow up.
That's funny.
The instance in particular that I'm talking about was someone said, "Hey, are you still alive?" Completely weird thing for them to text, considering I'm the one that texted them last. But they said, "Are you still alive?" And I said, "Haha, yes. Are you?" Literally a minute after they texted me that. And then I got no response for another 20 minutes. And then I said, "What are you up to?" Another 30 minutes goes by. And then I finally get a nothing. That's the entire text they sent back. I'm like, why even start a conversation if you're not actually going to be in the conversation?
Well, I was gonna say maybe they got busy, but if they replied nothing, that's
Yeah, right?
funny.
It's just
It's pretty
like,
hilarious.
yeah, it's the thing that I saw someone say was like, shout out to those people who text you and then immediately throw their phone in the river.
Yep, that's what happened. Well, I was gonna say too, maybe they died like
No, no.
immediately after.
And then I said, you doing okay? And then like 45 minutes later, I get, yes. I'm just like, wow, this is a great conversation, very stimulating. I was like, what's with the one word answers? And the response I got was, I'm exhausted. So then don't start a conversation with me while you're exhausted. How about that?
That's
How about
funny.
you just go to sleep? I
You
don't know.
should have
You ever
said
have that
thank you.
happen?
I have, sort of. You should have said, well, thank you for this
Yeah.
riveting conversation.
Yeah. So glad I took the
Goodbye.
time out of my day to
Goodbye for
respond to
another
this.
5 years.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, anyway, the rest of this week has been pretty uneventful, I guess. Yeah, I found this website, though, where you can go on and put in your name, and it's a government website because it's a .gov.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was one of those websites that you figure out what day you die.
No, no. But I put in it's a .gov, like I said. You put in your name or the name of someone you know or whatever, and it'll tell you if you have unclaimed property out there, like money or whatever, something that someone
Oh
owes
yeah,
you.
I've
And
gone there before.
and so I did that for me. Nothing came up. I was disappointed. Then I did that for my mom, and a little bit came up. It was like $40 or whatever. And then
Mm-hmm.
I did it for a friend of mine, and he had 3 listings. And I confirmed with him that they're all him because they're all addresses that he's lived at. About $100. One was for $50, and then one was for $350.
Wow.
And it's been there since 2010. And when I told him about it, he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I remember. Somebody told me about that." And I just never did anything about it. And I was like, "Are you serious right now? Like, why would you not? You got $500 sitting out here. Why would you not just go ahead and grab $500? It's 500 free dollars." Anyway,
He ain't want it. He's
apparently
rolling in
not.
the dough. He's rolling in the dough
Apparently,
already, I guess.
like,
Huh?
bruh. Yeah, apparently he's got money like that. And I'm just like, bruh, how can you just turn down $500 free dollars?
Yeah, turned down for what?
No.
Yeah, who said
Anyway,
it?
are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. All right. Hit him with the
Really?
intro, Tasha.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said hit him with the intro, Tasha.
Huh. Welcome to What M Dreams. I'm one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with,
Dustin.
and we're here to talk to you about dreams. Dreams, dreams, dreams. I still feel flat. I still feel like I'm singing flat.
No. I don't know. We should have like a pitch thing.
Yeah, we should.
That's what I'll do next time, and I'll bring my. You know what? I've got one on my phone actually. I'll just I'll just put it on when we're in person. I'll just be like, here, you can tell whether you're in pitch or not.
Yeah.
That's gonna hurt your feelings if it's bad though.
Eh.
That would make me
My,
laugh.
my feelings have been hurt before.
I'm sure.
It's no big deal.
So, did you actually remember any of your dreams this week, or did you write them down or record
I
them?
remember some.
Do you really?
I remember some. I do.
I feel like you're lying to me.
No, I do. I remember one from just last night.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to get started then?
Yeah, I'll
All
start us
right.
out. Okay, so I had a dream last night where I was walking with Alice and the kids, and we're outside, and we're like near a pond area. I think we're walking on top of a dam or something. But the stones underneath us were like jello
Ooh,
because there was like water, and the stones that we were walking on was jello. They
it
weren't
was like
solid.
Yellowstone National Park.
You're so funny. You're hilarious.
It came to me immediately, and I was like, "Don't say it! Don't say it! Don't say it!" And then it just popped out. So,
Okay, well, next time you should listen to yourself. Anyways, we're walking on top of these stones that were like jello and like dissolving beneath our feet. And we're trying not to get wet. It was like stepping stones on a pond.
Mhm.
And we were trying to get from one side of the pond to the other side. And all I remember is just looking at the pond and seeing a bunch of lily pads, and it seemed like a regular pond aside from the jello stones. And I think Alice beat me before I got to the other side. And
She
that's all I
made it.
remember of that dream.
Oh,
Yeah, the
so
ones I
like,
remember are pretty short.
so did the stones like look like stones, or did they like were they translucent like Jello?
They look like stones.
Oh, okay, so they were just like big and blobby though.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's funny? We went to a Chinese buffet last night, and Aiden always gets jello after he eats his plate. He always
Oh,
gets
really?
jello for like dessert. Yeah.
Gross.
He, you don't like jello?
No, I'm not a Jello person.
Yeah, me either. But he loves that shit. And
Yeah.
every time he gets it before he eats it, he pokes it and like wiggles it. He's like, "Guys, look!" And it just wiggle, wiggle, wiggles. Ernesto got Julian ice cream, and
Ooh.
he was just bouncing off the walls after that. And me and Alice were like, "You did this, Ernesto. This is your fault." He said, "Aiden's Jello looks like this," and then he like threw his head from side to side. They were cracking me up last night. It was funny.
See, I'm a pudding guy.
No,
Yeah, pudding.
from Chinese buffets.
Oh, I don't know about from Chinese buffets. I'm just saying in general, pudding.
Oh,
Pudding over Jello for sure.
yeah, I'd eat pudding over Jello.
Or any type of custard like stuff. I'll do
Yeah,
that too. Like flan. Oh my god, flan is so good.
really?
What, you don't
Really?
like flan?
No, I don't like flan. It's flavorless.
It is not flavorless. You're
Flavorless.
flavorless.
It's
You old
something
bland.
it's
What?
something normal SpongeBob would eat. SpongeBob with no holes.
SpongeBob with no holes.
Yeah, the normal SpongeBob.
I don't know that
You know what I'm
I've
talking?
ever seen that.
You've never seen the episode where he started getting more normal and
Nope.
less like SpongeBob. He lost his holes and he started getting rounder at the top. And he talked normal and he was boring.
The only one that I remember where like there was an alternate SpongeBob was Frankendoodle.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to go back and watch that episode. That was like an
Maybe,
older episode.
except maybe not.
No, you need to. This is your homework.
No.
What
So
was one of your dreams?
okay, okay. So I had weird dreams, but they weren't like I guess they weren't unrealistic. Really, I mean,
Yeah,
parts of them were, but they weren't like weird and fantastical like I normally do.
not like sci-fi.
Yeah. So I had a dream that I was taking a friend back to his apartment, and he was running late for like a bunch of things. And I guess I was in charge of taking him to these places. But
Yeah.
he was running late, and he was just like starts throwing his phone and his keys and stuff like that to me, and he's like, here, I have to take this conference call, take this and take my keys to my apartment and go grab something. I forgot what he needed from his apartment, but like he's throwing all this stuff at me, and then he was gonna put the conference call on mute, and then he was gonna give me the phone so that I could just listen to it for him while he was
Yeah.
getting ready for something else. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I start running into his apartment, and I go to the elevators and like immediately drop the signal for the call that we were supposed to be on. So like that's out the window now. So he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. There's no signal when you get into the front area of these apartments." And so like we're at the elevators, we go up in the elevator to the second floor, but that's as high as that elevator will go for some reason. And so then we have to go to a different set of elevators that will go up the rest of the way. He's like looking for the next set of elevators. And I was like, what do you mean you're looking for the elevators? Don't you live here? Like, don't you know where they are? And I was like, how do you not know where they are? And he's like, I always take the stairs. And I was like, really? You always take the stairs? And then, like, we find this map at the back of the stairs that has like a map for all the elevators. But it's weird because it's like behind this door that you have to open. Yeah, it was really bizarre. So like you have to open this door to see the map. And then like the map tells you where the elevators are and everything. It also apparently shows how like the stairs worked. And I was like, they're stairs. I know how the stairs work. And he's like, yeah, well these go up, and I was like, yeah, I get it, bro. It's not that hard.
They go
I've
up
been
and
alive.
down.
Yeah. So we get into the second set of elevators and we start going up, and that's when the dream stopped.
There are elevators like that in older buildings that only go up a certain amount, and then you have to find a different set,
Yeah. It was,
like the VA.
yeah, it was just weird, man. Like, I don't know why I was dreaming that I was in charge of someone else, because that's definitely not me.
The stair directions was funny.
Yeah. It was like, you need to go up these and down these. And it's like, okay.
He's talking to your special ass.
Yeah. Because I don't use stairs. Stairs are my arch nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
You
I'm
want to
never
defeat
getting
me?
used to the stairs in, in high school. Because my room's on the second floor. I'm always huffing and puffing. Though Alice is always, I guess she's being over dramatic. She's always like, I'm dying. I'm going to start crawling. She said, I'm literally going to start bear crawling up the stairs. I just can't.
When I was thinner, I actually used to like taking the stairs, and I would jog up and down them.
Oh, man. Yeah. I remember those days being able to go fast up and down stairs. No,
Yeah.
not anymore.
No,
No,
if
no,
I
no.
tried to do that, I would die on like the third step.
I remember running.
Yeah.
And
Oh
now I
man.
got bad knees.
But if I tried to run, like both knees would just blow out right there.
Yep.
She's like, somebody call 911. I watched a video the other day that like it had one of those AI voiceovers, and
Uh-oh.
it got to a part where somebody was supposed to shout, "Call 911," and they said, "Call 911." I was like, oh dear lord.
AI is wild. Wild.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder why your elevator map was behind a door.
I don't know. It didn't make any sense. And like the dude was so proud of himself for like pointing out the map as well. And
That's
it's like,
funny.
bruh, chill out. It's a map. Like,
It's a map.
it's
These
not
are
the actual
fucking
elevator.
stairs. Yeah, it's funny. About the VA. So I was thinking about the VA now. At the VA, there are these machines for, like vending machines for healthy food. Have you been to the VA recently?
No.
Okay. Well, they have these vending machines set up where it sells like quinoa and a bunch of other healthy
Ew.
shit that I'm not sure about. But one of them is chocolate chia seed pudding with strawberries. And let me tell you,
Mm,
it's fucking delicious. I tried
it
it
sounds
once,
good.
and now I'm hooked. And I tried to recreate it, not having a recipe. Okay. So I got three things that I thought might have been in it. One of them was chia seeds. Another one was cacao nuggets. And another one was cacao powder. And
Okay.
yogurt. Some like organic yogurt. So I stirred it all up, put it in the fridge, let it sit overnight so that it could soak up the chia seeds. A couple of days later, it's as if it wasn't sitting there overnight because the chia seeds didn't soak up anything. And also, it tasted like poop.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Did
I
you?
had a dream about it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hear about that.
Okay, it was very short. I dreamt that I went into the refrigerator. I had woken up. It was the next day, the morning time. I went into the refrigerator. My mom was standing in the kitchen. She's like, "What are you getting?" And I was like, "I'm getting that pudding that I made the other day." I remember opening it up and then taking a bite, and it was fucking delicious. Okay, delicious. I
Yeah.
was like, I did a good job. Yay, go me. And that's all I remember of that dream.
Oh, well.
So when I woke up, I had high hopes for it. I was like, I dreamt this is gonna be good, so this has got to be good. And it was poop.
So, what did it actually taste like?
The good one or the bad one?
The bad one. Duh.
The bad one tasted like blueberries with no sweetener, mushed blueberries with no sweetener, and like, the consistency of sesame seeds
Hmm.
on top of buns. Just like putting a bunch of those in my mouth. At least
Yeah.
it felt like that because the seeds were small and still crunchy. And they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be like little jello bubbles, little jelly bubbles. And they were not that. It was just like pudding mixed with a bunch of sesame seeds is how it felt in my mouth. It was not a good feeling.
Okay, so I have to ask. because I heard that you put the chia seeds in
Hmm.
and 2 different types of chocolate, cacao. Where did the blueberry come from?
Oh, well, I had gotten that yogurt at an organic store, and I didn't notice it had blueberry in it. I thought it was just regular,
Oh, okay. Because
like
I was
vanilla
very confused.
flavored.
I was like, how did chocolate and chia seed taste like blueberry? I was about to be like, I think you've stumbled onto something.
No, I didn't stumble to anything except for freaking crunchy ass yogurt.
Well, you probably should have roasted the chia seeds first.
What?
Yes.
Seriously?
Um, probably.
Says
Uh,
who? I'm gonna Google this.
says anybody that ever cooks. And then the other thing you could have done was instead of using cacao powder, you could have melted some cacao in there, but don't go higher than 70% because it starts to taste like coffee at that point.
Well,
You know what I really like? Dark chocolate and raspberry. Anything that's dark chocolate and raspberry together,
yeah,
that's
that shit is
delicious.
delicious.
Yeah.
That is delicious. The first time I had dark chocolate and raspberry was at P.F. Chang's.
Oh.
They had a dark chocolate cake with raspberries on the side. And I was like, what is this? I was like, I don't know how old I was, but I'd say still a teenager. And I had never come across it.
So
It was good.
the first time I did, I was it. It was actually like a health food sort of thing. I was doing the low carb diet. It was the first time that I ever lost a bunch of weight, and I used to get these like Carb Smart bars or something like that. I think they were Carb Smart. Anyway,
Yeah.
and they were chocolate and raspberry crunch. Oh my god, they were the most delicious thing I had ever had.
Huh.
They were expensive as hell, so I didn't get them very often. But there's also a Ghirardelli dark chocolate raspberry thing. It's like raspberry filled dark
Yep,
chocolate.
the little squares.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
those are good.
those.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite chocolates.
Of course it is.
That and Ferrero Rocher.
Eh, I mean, I
I love
like Ferrero Rocher, but
hazelnut chocolate is just the best.
why don't you just get a bunch of Nutella then?
I do.
So do you pronounce it Nutella or Nutella?
No, Nutella.
Okay.
You freaking nut. Did you just say
Some
Nutella to me?
yeah, some people pronounce it Nutella.
Okay,
I
goodbye.
don't know what's correct though.
It's Nutella.
Is it though?
Clearly,
Why clearly?
because nut.
Okay.
That's why.
All right. I guess that's sound reasoning.
Well, damn. Is it two T's or one now? I'm wondering. It's only one T, right?
I think so. I think it's one
Oh,
T,
no.
two L's.
Well, now I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
Everything's a lie. Okay. Yeah, it's one T, so now I don't know. Maybe it is Nutella.
Anyway,
Strange.
I didn't mean to get you off on a weird tangent there. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the last dream that I wrote down for this week. So I had a dream that I guess I was kind of into, or I was in like my own house, but it wasn't my house. It was weird because it seemed like it was kind of like a storefront. It was in the middle of like a big downtown area, and I'll say the front and left side of this place was mostly glass with some really wide open doorways, and then the right wall and back wall were enclosed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it looked like a store, but it had to have been my house because all my stuff was there.
Weird.
Yeah. So these four dudes walk in, and they're huge, like 7 foot tall, like The Rock. You know what I mean? Just tall and muscular. And they came out from one of the side doors. They kind of had blood on their faces, like they had just been in fight.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't look like they were real banged up, but like they looked like they had just been in a fight. They were like trying to use my phone. And so I was like, all right, yeah, sure. Here you go. Use my phone. And they couldn't get a hold of whoever they were trying to call. Well, one of them had started kind of wandering around looking at everything, and he picked up one of my guitars and he started playing it. He wasn't playing it very well. And then another guy did the same thing. And then they all started to leave while I was busy doing something else. And I noticed that they were leaving and they were taking my guitars with them. And they left and they went outside and they go up a stairway and above me. So it was kind of like those apartments, that have like stairs that go up to the next level.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go outside and I looked up and I was just like, "Hey, that's my guitar." And the first guy, like, he leans over and he goes, "Oh, here you go," and he just drops it at me. I
Damn.
caught it. I caught it just fine. And then I noticed the other guy and I was like, "Hey, that's my guitar too. Like that's one of my other guitars." And so he drops it. And then like a third guy does the same thing. And somehow I caught all of these guitars without any of them getting hurt. And then that was it.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there like trying to juggle guitars.
Yeah. Balancing guitar act over here.
And somehow I did it without any of them getting hurt. And I guess I didn't get hurt.
What a weird dream.
It was, right? Like it made no sense whatsoever. And like I tried to think of like, okay, well, what in my life would that represent or anything?
Yeah. Have
And
you been worried about your possessions or whatever?
no, not one bit. I mean, the only thing that I've been thinking about is like selling a bunch of stuff, like
Ah.
all of my DVDs and Blu-rays, because I mean, I have way too many. I don't know if
Mm.
I don't know if I've ever told you how many DVDs and Blu-rays I have, but
No.
like it's well over 1,000.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a lot. So yeah, if you were to have a garage sale, that's been on your mind, I guess.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out where I could sell them because I don't know that I could sell them that well in a garage sale.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also don't know how much I could sell them for. But I did see that there's an app called Declutter that is supposed to help you sell stuff, and they said on average, like DVDs go for like $2. I was like, oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that'd be
So
good.
yeah, I could
Garage
make
sales been on my mind
$2,000.
too. Yeah, if you were to sell all your DVDs,
Yeah.
$2,000.
You said you've been thinking about garage sales also?
Yeah, it's been on my mind for some time now. Over
Yeah.
the years since we moved here, we've been like, we're gonna have a garage sale. Yeah, let's do it. And then we never did.
Yeah.
But I really, really want to declutter, so we should get started soon.
Yeah.
Over the summer,
Me
it'd be
too.
harder for my folks to be outside. So
Yeah.
trying to wait till it's cooler. And then by the time it gets cooler, I just never remember.
Well, speaking of getting cooler, I think next week we're supposed to see some temperatures like 60 for a high, like 60 something for a high.
Ooh,
As it looks like we're going to be in the 90s today and tomorrow, though.
Yeah, heat wave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it looks like here it says the 30th. Our high is 64. Guess what that means our low is?
What?
45.
Oh, that's pretty chilly.
Oh, it's going to be nice. I'm so
Mm-hmm.
excited.
It reminds me, we went fishing last Sunday with the kids and my folks, and it was so nice. The wind chill though, it's pretty nippy,
Yeah.
and it was windy all day. We went to the state park.
Oh, okay.
They caught a lot of fish.
Really?
They caught at least six. They're like little sunfish looking fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd catch any because the water was so choppy, but they were catching them off the bank a lot.
I've been to the lake in your city quite a few times. It's pretty nice. It's smallish.
I've never been there.
Really? It's not that far from where you live.
It's funny. I should probably go.
I mean, it's on the other side. You know where like the old part of town is with the
Yeah.
really nice houses and stuff.
Mhm.
It's out past that a little bit, but not by much.
Okay. Yeah, I should check it out.
Yeah. I started going there during the pandemic.
That's funny.
Well, yeah, it was like there wasn't anybody else around, and I didn't want to stay at home. So,
Mhm.
I mean,
Had a couple more dreams that I remember.
all right, hit me with them.
They're pretty short. Pretty sure it was last night. It was about I was vacationing. Guess where I was?
Hawaii.
Yep, I was there. And guess who was with me?
Ernesto.
Yeah. So we're driving through somewhere. We were driving through like a nicer part of a town in Hawaii, and it was like for rich uppity folk. And after a while, instead of driving, it was like we were walking through it, but really fast. Almost like we
Okay.
were we were either on rollerblades or scooters or I don't know, but we were going really fast. And we get to this one mall, and it was like it had walls, but it was open on two sides, kind of.
Okay.
So I guess it's a lot like beachfront stores
Yeah.
and have the option to open up like a garage door.
Right.
Only it was really, really uppity. And I remember it's a weird detail to remember, but the walls were white, like stone, white stone, almost like marble. And we were going through this mall-like place, and there was a whole bunch of food vendors. And I remember there being a significant amount of Mexican food vendors. I think I have Mexican food on the mind because we almost went to a Mexican place yesterday. It's right next to Bamboo Palace.
Yeah.
We almost went there. I was like, should we go there instead? But we ended up going to Bamboo Palace because the kids like that place for sure.
I I do not. I can't stand Bamboo Palace.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that one of the places you've been with us before?
Yeah. A
That's
lot.
funny.
It's probably why I don't like it.
Oh, yeah, we went there. And then in the mall, I was stopping by a food vendor, and I don't remember what it was for. I think it was like a dessert food vendor. And I was going to get some food there. And I was ordering, and that's all I remember from that dream. I didn't
Oh,
get my food.
okay. Damn.
I know. That day.
Now we'll never know if it was good.
It looked good. At least the food on display looked good. I don't remember what I ordered.
Looks can be deceiving, though.
That is true. Okay, and the other dream I remember, this one's kind of interesting. It's short, but it is interesting. I was at school being a teacher, doing the teacher thing, and I remember having to stop class because a couple of my kids, or at least one in particular, and maybe another one, I don't remember him specifically, but they were in trouble with the law.
Ooh.
So police officers had to come in, and they're going to arrest him right then and there in my class. So I remember the police officers walking up to him, down to put his hands behind his back. I remember them cuffing him. And I remember him just shaking his head, and everybody else, all sad and shit, including myself. Have you ever seen Renaissance Man?
No. Mm-mm.
Really? With Danny DeVito?
Nope.
Wow. I'd have thought you'd seen it. But it reminded me of a scene in that film. Because in that film, there's a young man who gets arrested and gets taken out in handcuffs, and everybody's like, damn, damn, he had a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah.
And everybody in my dream felt like that, including myself. I was sad as shit. And he was like a real kid. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a kid who's actually in my class this year.
Oh, yeah.
So the next day in real life, when I was teaching his class, we ended up talking. We got on the topic of stealing for some reason, and he ends up. This is real life, and he ends up telling me that he has stolen before. He said he's stolen about $100 before. I was like, really? Nuh-uh. He was like, yeah, for real, miss. And I was like, no, you haven't. You'd never do that. He was like, yeah, for real. It was my grandma. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I was in the second grade and I stole about $100 from my grandma. And I was like, what? And I was like,
And you were like, guess who's behind door number 2? It's the cops.
right? No, he was like, but she caught me like right after, and I gave it back to her. And I was like, oh, okay. After that, I was like side eyeing him. And plus, it was like, he started talking about how, because I asked him, so do you have a good relationship with your grandma now? And he's like, yeah, she's my grandma. And I was like, okay, that's good. But then he kept talking to his friends, and I was listening. And he was like, yeah, my grandma, she's always tripping. She's always tripping full, because like every time I bring money over to her house, she's always thinking it's hers. She's always telling me to give to her, but it's like my allowance for my parents. And the whole time I was listening to him, I was like, well,
How can you blame her?
you did steal from her before. So I was like low key worried about this kid the whole time.
Were you worried about him before? Like,
Not really. No, he seems like a good kid. And
mm,
it's cute because like there's this girl that he was interested in one of my other class periods that I taught.
mhm,
She has like the period where we go eat lunch. She's that period.
mm.
So, you know how lunch works at high schools? There's like A, B, and C lunch.
I mean, I'm familiar with high school.
Okay.
I was once there.
Well, I mean, do you remember how like there would be a lunch period and then it's during that period that it's the longest and all other lunches occur?
Yes.
Anyways, so his that girl is in that period for me. So she's in my longest period, and during her period, other classes are going to lunches while we wait for our turn to go to lunch. And so he always shows up during her period during his lunchtime. He always shows up and he's like, can I just hang out in here, miss? And he's always sitting next to her. We do this several days, several weeks actually. And
Mhm.
then one day he ended up showing up with a thing of roses for her. A bouquet of
Aw.
roses. And I was like, oh. And I was like, is this your anniversary or something? Because I thought they were boyfriend and girlfriend. He's like, no, miss. I just asked her out and she said yes. And I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Aw.
That was
So
adorable.
sweet. So sweet it gave me diabetes.
Yeah, and they're both good kids. From my perspective, yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, dreaming about that though got me worried about
Sounds like you should be out here stealing $100 from old women.
him. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would have dreamt something like that about him, and then suddenly you find out that the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's premonition-ish.
Yeah, it was. Except hopefully he's not currently doing anything bad. Oh, and before he told me that he'd stole from his grandma, he had shown up in class that day saying, I just took, I forget how many bucks, it was like $5. I just took $5 from some kid. I'm like, no, you did not. He's like, yeah, miss, I took his lunch money. I was like, no, you did not. Quit saying that. He's like, yeah, miss, I did. And he was showing me the money. And I was like, shut up. You did not steal that. And he's like, no, I didn't steal it. But I have stolen before. And that's when he told me about his grandma.
Damn.
And I was like, and then he told me it was in the second grade because I was thinking recently. And I was like, oh, damn. Oh, damn, you going to jail.
Listen, man, I had a dream about this. The cops are going to be here any minute. You need to go. That would be funny. You'd be like, what? All right, well, I don't have any more dreams from this week.
No, no. I had a couple of dreams that were sad as shit. But now that time has passed, I do not recall exactly what happened. I just know that
Yeah.
I had lost some people. And I woke up sad as shit.
Yeah, you had said something about it in text. So I had a couple of other dreams, but I couldn't remember them after I woke up. And I hate that so much because I hate that feeling of like waking up going, oh man, that was a good dream. What happened?
What was it? Yeah, what was it again?
Right. but
Yeah, that sucks.
um, but that's happened to me a lot. All right, well, I guess it's time for recommendations.
Recommendations.
I recently watched two films that I had been looking forward to that I hadn't gotten a chance to watch. And I am
Oh.
going to recommend one of them.
Okay, you start.
Okay. So my recommendation is Clerks 3.
Alright.
If you haven't seen the first two, it's kind of okay because this feels like a pretty self-contained story. But if you have seen the first two, there are a lot of references and callbacks that get weird and meta during the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But for a Kevin Smith film, it's not overly funny. It's funny, but not in the way that like a Kevin Smith film tends to be.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is that it's got a lot more heart in it than some of his previous films. The premise is that, it's these two guys that work in a convenience store, and after playing hockey on the roof of the convenience store, one of them winds up having a heart attack. And this heart attack gives him this brand new perspective on life, and he decides he's going to make a movie. And the movie is basically their life in the convenience store. So weirdly, the movie that they're making is the first Clerks movie. Yeah, that's where it gets like weird and meta, because like it's this weird like third retelling of the story that happened.
Yeah.
It just overall feels like, because this is sort of a thing that happened to Kevin because he had a heart attack that changed his perspective on how he lives and everything. And it feels like this was his way of kind of dealing with that.
Huh.
And I think that Jeff Anderson, for someone who was not originally an actor and really didn't want to be an actor before that first movie, he's a phenomenal actor. And he does phenomenal in this film.
Okay.
So it's a comedy, but it's also got a lot of heart. There's a lot of drama in it. And if you like Kevin Smith, check it out.
Alright. Check it out.
What do you got, Tasha?
I'm going to recommend a film that I watched over the summer called Nope.
Oh, I have not seen this yet, but I do want to.
It's like horror, mystery, sci-fi. And I don't want to give away anything that I didn't initially see in like the trailers, because like the trailers are very vague. I don't want to spoil anything. So I'll just say that this movie follows a couple of residents in California, in like the country area of California, and they are a witness to something. I'm stealing words from this review.
All right.
Something uncanny and chilling. Yeah. And let's see, who are the actors? Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, who's another big one? Stephen Yeun. So if you like any of those actors, actresses, you like sci-fi, horror, mystery, definitely give Nope a look-see, because it
And
was
it's a
pretty.
Jordan Peele movie as well.
Yes, there you go. Yes, it is another Jordan Peele film, and his films are very engaging, in my
Yes.
opinion. Yep, I enjoy his films.
Yeah. When it was recommended that, everyone should go watch Get Out,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, oh my God, it was so good. I did kind of call what was happening, like at the beginning of the film. Then I was right, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But it didn't take anything away from it. But everybody else was like, oh my God, that was such an amazing thing. Like I had no idea, and I was like, really? It was pretty telegraphed. That might also just be because I watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, I've been wanting to see Nope.
You should give it a look-see.
I'm gonna have to eventually, but I'm not gonna recommend it. I'm just gonna tell you about it. I watched No Way Home, Spider-Man, No Way Home.
You've
Um,
never seen it before?
no, I hadn't seen it. I've seen the first two, and then I didn't watch the third one
What the
because
heck?
I didn't get a chance to go to the theater.
No Way Home is like my favorite Marvel film, I think. Maybe my second favorite, but yeah.
So I don't want to spoil it for the listeners, but the ending was pretty sad.
Yeah, man.
But I did like when the Spider-Men are talking and they notice that Toby's Spider-Man just shoots the webs right out of his wrist, and the
Yeah.
other two have the web cartridges. They're like, "Wow, so you can just do that? Like, we have to have web shooters. Like, is that the only place that webs come out of?" Yeah, it was funny. I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really loved No Way Home.
I like Jamie Foxx. I liked those Spider-Man movies, even though like I'm in the minority for sure. Because I guess the Amazing Spider-Man series was hated by a lot of people.
I liked them.
Yeah, I liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Hmm.
I liked Tobey Maguire in the first two Spider-Man movies. The third one I thought was awful.
I don't remember the third.
You don't remember the third?
Mm-mm.
So Thomas Hayden Church, that played Sandman,
Hmm.
was in that one.
Oh, okay.
Venom was in that one. And Hobgoblin, which was played by the now problematic James Franco.
Okay.
Do you remember it now?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. It was not good.
Have you seen all the Guardians?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I made a point to go watch Guardians 3 in the theater.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I guess
we
we're
did it.
done then.
We did it.
We did do it.
Hit him with the outro, Dustin.
Dun dun dun.
Thank you, Little Dreamers, for listening.
Little Dreamers is our $5 Patreon subscription tier.
Listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts until 2024,
Thanks for that, Google.
Sirius, Pandora, and YouTube, with YouTube Music and Apple Podcasts coming soon.
You can find us on our socials at TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere else that you think of social media.
Also, email us your dreams at whatmdreams@gmail.com so that we can hear from some of
what you have dreamt about. And, we might judge you harshly. I don't know. We'll see.
We will, but also it'll be fun, so it's cool. Thank you again for listening. Bye.
Bye. Forever.
No, never.